Dangus log. I've messed up big time. While investigating an old case, I somehow managed to offend a very high-ranking senator. I'm still not sure why, or if that even was his wife or daughter, but I ended up with a price on my head. I knew it was only a matter of time before I was hunted down. So it was time to ditch my exploration duds and outfit myself a viper. Oh yeah. If it's time to tango, Daddy needs his dancing shoes. That's the best I could come up with. But of course, it wasn't long before I was recognized by that guy who dislikes all my GalTube videos no less. He ratted me out to the local militia. Alright, well, no more Mr. Nice Spatula. I tore through my opponents with voracious laser beams and relentless speed. It didn't matter how big they were, I was starting to get good. I wasn't afraid to hook a well-placed boop. That's right. Human beings have a particularly interesting quality, you see. The ability to stare rejection in the face and keep refusing to accept it. Sometimes that might be a bad thing and you get a Bill Cosby, but most of the time you get a Bill Pullman, refusing to go quietly into the night. But unfortunately, after several well-guided but malintended missiles, I was getting a Bill Clinton, and I don't mean the fun stuff. I realized if I didn't want my head declaring independence from the rest of my body, I needed to get the hell out of Dodge. And of course, with no time for engineering, this Viper was running into all kinds of mostly harmless problems. There were just too many enemies for me to fight alone. I headed back to reunite with my asp Jerry. It would seem the only safe place left was in witch space, and even that wasn't safe anymore thanks to the Thargoids. Thanks, Thargoids. But my plan was to keep jumping until the bounty hunters gave up. At least that was my plan, until I met Jules Pitts, a pilot from Valhalla, the same planet my former co-pilot, Island Singleton, was from. She couldn't help me find my lost co-pilot, but pointed me in the direction of an anarchy system, where I'd be able to purchase a paint job for my asp that would also cloak my ship's transponder, making me completely unrecognizable. I didn't know such wizardry existed, so I thanked Jules and hopped into Jerry to head there. The system name was Meanie. Meanie? And not far from where I was. A small anarchy system with far too many suns. People that live in anarchy systems are, well, usually the kind of people you'd expect would live in anarchy systems. I'm talking about poor people. Ew. But more importantly, pirates. These days, pirates weren't just picky about the ships they chose to interdict. Now that can be traced back to the mid-20th century and the actor Johnny Depp. If he didn't have to be picky about his roles, why should pirates be picky, right? And though my arrival looked clear, I was harassed as soon as I left the gravity well of the local star. But with a little jig and some cha-cha footwork, I danced my way out of the interdiction field and into a paradigm of questioning my own choice of metaphor. But I found my way to the nearest spaceport. It was time for my ship to get a special kind of paint job, one with all the extras, so I could finally blend in with the commoners once more. A vacation from infamy was just what I needed to get back to the real work. Now, more than ever, the galaxy needs mystery solvers. I still landed tepidly, keeping in mind this was a place where the only rule is that there are no rules, except the one rule about there being no rules, so the only rule actually breaks its own rule, which is kind of cool. But I was surprised to find the place hospitable, and before long, I was approached by a little man named Ram Tah, who recognized my mystery-solving ways and offered me a quest to head back to the alien ruins, and by using the artifacts from the site, bring back special data. Sounds simple enough, and I can't help myself when science calls, so I told him I'd get around to it sometime, and that's when he told me if I did it within 3 weeks, he'd pay me $1 million! Well, I got that paint job done and headed out in search of my happy ending. $100 million! Just to scan a few monoliths for data! What a chump! A regular sucker if I ever saw one. And I have 3 weeks to do it. I'll probably be done within an hour and well on my way to the Anaconda store. Might even have enough left over for insurance. Finally, a big payoff had come my way, and all I have to do is scan a few rocks of unknown origins. This was going to be my big score. I had spent plenty of time in the ruins before, so getting there was no big deal. Based on the number of ships in the area, it looks like Ram Tah had called in the entire galaxy for this puzzle. But with a $100 million payout, I'd expect no less. Though in the back of my mind I wondered, what's the catch here? Like, are we going to have to sit through a sales presentation, or have to buy a vacuum to get our $1 million? Or get 1,000 of our friends to get 1,000 of their friends to join an online shopping network for Tupperware? Well, I made it down to the site and found it crawling with activity. Commanders from all over the bubble had come to cash in, scientists and their SRVs below, while ships stood guard above. Despite my efforts to disguise my asp, I was immediately recognized by a fan of the channel, a Mr. Venus, who messaged me his affections privately, as to avoid exposing my location. 07 to you, Commander. I got my SRV and loaded up on artifacts, looking out on the site and realizing how vast it was. I began cross-referencing maps and Excel sheets like a 20th century Neanderthal, wishing that there was some kind of futuristic tool installed in my SRV that would tell me what the hell to do. My efforts to extract data were looking rather bleak. Suddenly I realized I found the catch. If you don't know what you're doing, you won't be able to tell if it's glitched or not. Therefore, if it's not working, we can use Pascal's wager to work out that it's probably glitched. I was making almost no progress, and swapping items became boring, and I'm in the planet, what the hell? Well, I decided to take a break from not knowing what I was doing, and do something that I did know, which is muck about and do weird stuff. So I found a little SRV who wanted a ride, and decided to fulfill his little fluffy dreams. Let him run around on my back. Hopefully he's not damaging the paint up there. Okay, little SRV? You okay? You get up there. Yeah, get off my back. But things weren't as weird as they were about to get, mind you. You see, there was much scanning performed that day, my friends. It was a smorgasbord of science, and a buffet of professional cooperation. Oh, we worked together that day. Mr. Brenus warned me of impending danger. A cave troll had arrived on site and was targeting asps. I sprung into action, defending my fellow asps. I raced to get between the attacker and the defenseless asp on the ground. I sit on the asp to defend it. I'll sit on you. Okay, there we go. You're safe. Now some evasive maneuvers to throw him off. And I spy an SRV, panicking and running in circles. Protect you, little SRV. Just let me sit on you. Hello? I'm sorry. Okay. Oops. And that's when the night set in. Somehow all the scanning must have affected our minds, because that's when the strange things began to go down. Navigation systems on my ship seem to be plotting suboptimal courses. While the science continues, I get this eerie feeling on the back of my neck, like the hair standing up. And that's when I encountered the Ghost Rider! A pilotless SRV sitting in the ruins, just doing its own thing, with no human to guide it. SRVs are born tame and domesticated. They don't know how to live in the wild, so the only logical explanation to this mystery is that there's a human ghost inside of the SRV piloting it with ghost powers. And I gotta say, those are some toasty backflips. But I ain't afraid of no ghosts, so I'm not gonna let this little spookster take me away from my main goal, which is trying to work out if this is a puzzle or just a terrible prank laid out by the developers. I mean, I'm all for a good brain teaser, but this puzzle is more like trying random stuff over and over. Maybe this whole alien ruin is a big puzzle from Space Banksy after all. To teach everyone a lesson in accepting $100 million missions that look too easy. Well, the puzzle was putting everyone on edge. Perhaps there was no way to get the complete data set, so no 100 million. Some little SRVs randomly started pecking me, so I decided to spread the love and peace in the universally accepted form of a small boop. Boop. Oh, this guy wants a boop too. Boop. I think this pole wants a boop. Boop. Did that do anything? Oh, hi there, big guy. Did you want a boop? Whoa, easy there. Whoa, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing? Oh no. Not this again. Oh no, it's getting weird again. Oh man, look at them go. Whoa. Not even sticking around for a cigarette? Talk about hit and run. What's this? Oh, crazy, another fan of the Dangus. That's nuts. You deserve a special boot, my friend. Right in the Dangus. Open up. Open up. Yeah. Talk about fan service. Okay, now dig in. Dig in deep. That's right. Now on the chin. Easy. Nice pooping. Oh yeah. What's going on? Hey. Don't overdo it. Easy. That's... You got style. I'll give you that, kid. Hey, where you going? Is this something I said? Suddenly, ships begin to enter each other all around me. I'm surrounded in an orgy of intership merging. Ships inside of ships, like Russian dolls from hell, or like that Jeff Goldblum movie, The Fly. Only with mechanical ships warping in and out of reality. Why do all my science videos end up turning into ship orgies? Man, this guy's in there deep. Give you a little boop, my friends. Boop. Oop, didn't mean to scare you. What? What the hell happened? Suddenly, ships began exploding around me, seemingly committing seppuku. Why would two pilots do that to themselves? I decided to investigate the wreckage for clues as to why these people killed themselves. I examined the physics of the burned-out hull by knocking it around a bit to see how it bounced. It bounced pretty well, spoilers. But suddenly, when I launched it high into the air, straight towards two federal anacondas who were on guard duty, it nearly smacked into one of them, but it was enough to catch their attention. Suddenly it dawned on me that those ships committing seppuku were meant to frame me for murder, which means they knew I was here all along. Which means it's a trap. Suddenly, chaos erupted as many non-combat scientists began to freak out and crash into one another. The anacondas deployed their hardpoints and turned to come at me. Quite a scary sight to behold. In my exploration kitted asp, there was no way I could take on two anacondas by myself. I needed to think of something. Quickly! I'll deploy Chafe and run around this way. I spotted an Imperial ship hovering above the site and hatched an egg-shaped plan. Coming in and parking under the other ship, maybe they wouldn't be able to see me and they'd, go away. Yeah, perfect plan. They'll never find me here. Unfortunately, these particular feds had a rather tenacious sense of misguided justice and came down upon me, calling for my execution in the name of some stupid law I've never heard of. I tried to use the Imperial ship as a shield from their lasers, but it didn't seem to be enough. I had no choice but to try and escape now. It was run or die. I decided to express my anguish in the chat window to hopefully instill sympathy long enough to escape. But despite their merciless assault, I managed to break free and head for the hills. And so that $100 million evaporated into thin air, as did the alien puzzle. It was too risky to stay, and too boring if it wasn't risky. And all I was looking forward to now was a repair bill, and some potential cash from selling this log of space porn. But there are other mysteries out there, and at least I live another day until another Dangus. Look, it's an Asperger. Okay, that's too offensive. Okay, I'll put it at the end of the video, and then it won't be so offensive. Is that how that works?